All right, so we touched on the Chase Young thing. We don't have to revisit it, but he had his press conference, I guess, yesterday with the San Francisco media. Kind of took some veiled shots at Washington, talking about the culture and how he's around winners now and all this. So, be interesting to see what happens when we play him. What is it on New Year's Day?
New Year's Eve.
New Year's
yep.
Eve. When he comes here, we threw out JP. You can give us the poll results. We asked, when Chase comes to play here, will he be booed or cheered? I actually don't think there'll be overwhelming boos. And then somebody also pointed out there'll be a lot of Niners fans here.
Yeah.
So that'll
I would
also
assume there
help.
will be, yeah.
And I would think that a lot of Commanders fans will pay attention to Niners games going forward.
Now,
think
we'll
so.
say social media is skewed towards the negative in general.
Yes,
So
it is.
even if
That
we
is true.
probably if Michael Jordan came back, it'd probably be more boos. But right now, about 1,000 votes, 76% boo.
Wow. I'm kind of surprised by that. to be
Only
honest with you.
24% team cheer.
I don't have hostility towards Chase. I'm just sad it didn't work out.
He kind of did during the tenure. Like, you've taken
Well, I
a
was
different
frustrated.
tone here the last couple weeks. Like, you had almost like a glee talking about Chase's lack of
no,
success.
you just interpreted that.
I
was
think other people
frustrated.
would interpret it that way, too.
No, I mean I was trolling him because he wasn't.
Valdez, I don't know that you're impartial, but how would you say EB's stance on Chase Young was during the tenure?
There's a lot of disappointment.
Just frustrated and angry.
I think a lot of the anger comes from the disappointment. I don't think he has any personal ill will towards him.
Yeah.
No, not personal will, but I sit across from him. He would smile when he would point
Well, because I
to
knew it would anger
Chase's struggles.
Because I knew it would anger people.
That's what I'm saying. You had glee because you would smile
Right,
at his lack of
It was
success.
a troll job on
I was
Chase.
kind of trolling a little bit because I was annoyed. But like when his dad called in, you guys forget, I was a big LeVar Ball, right? That was the name of his
Yes,
dad. I was a
yeah.
big LeVar Ball guy. People hated him,
We had him in studio.
but I liked him because he stood up for his kids.
So funny.
You know, I didn't have a problem with him. And then I actually got a kick out of him. And so when Greg Young called in to Grant and Danny, I think Danny was off that day, I kind of sympathized with the dad a little bit, sticking up for his kid.
I mean,
even
he
though-
embellished all the stats.
Even though his stats were all wrong,
I mean,
I'm sure he made some.
But you're always
points.
going to defend your kid, even
Yeah,
if it,
so I was a little bit
even
sympathetic
if
to
it
the
leans
dad.
towards hyperbole and
Yeah.
making stuff up. You're going to be in your kid's corner,
Right.
or you should be.
I mean,
Right.
here's a quote from you, EB. He says, I'll be honest, I like to troll Chase,
That's what I said.
and sometimes I feel justified.
Yeah, I like to troll because I wanted him to produce, and I got frustrated. All right, so Pro Football Focus, they always put out their grades.
Okay.
I have the offensive grades first.
okay.
Let's go through those.
Well, we kind of know
because-
Sam's, right? Because, or no, we went through QBR yesterday.
Yeah, no, you didn't go through the PFF grades. So you care to guess? The first two guys had limited snaps. The first guy had 34 snaps. The other guy had 18, but they were the two highest rated offensive guys.
Ooh.
34 and 18, so that's a
Dotson?
big clue.
Dotson have
No.
pretty good. Oh.
No, Dotson had 59 snaps. Dotson was like middle of the road, 66.4. He was their 8th highest rated.
I'm guessing
He
one
was
of
right in the middle. Huh?
Bates?
No, Antonio Gibson. Was the highest rated, 84.9. He had a good game, right? He had like
He had 5 or 6 catches, I want to say.
and 5 or 6 runs.
Yeah,
He ran for about 5.5
And he had
yards
the big
a carry.
kickoff
He
return,
ran for
right?
34
Didn't he have-
yards.
Wasn't the opening
Yes.
kickoff
Yes. Yeah.
a Gibby return? Byron Pringle. Byron Pringle.
Struggling with that name.
He had an 80.4. He made a couple plays.
Yeah. He
which
seemed
was nice
to
to see.
be in good positions when Howell was scrambling.
Caught 3 out of
But I
4
agree with you. That
targets.
one pass was dangerous. He threw across his body, but nobody was,
I didn't like it.
nobody was around him for like 20 yards.
Loved the result. Didn't
Yeah.
like it when it was floating in the air. Didn't like it when he took it.
But they showed on the broadcast that Pringle found a spot in the zone.
I mean, there must have been no defenders near him.
Nobody was around him.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was wide,
So what was his
freaking
grade?
open.
Pringle was an 80.4. Okay, the highest rated guy that played every snap.
Ooh. All right, hold on. He played every snap.
Mm-hmm.
I'm guessing offensive lineman.
Charles Leno Jr., 79.5. Right behind him, Sam Howell. Andrew Wiley. By the way, have you noticed that Wiley has kind of been under the radar the last few weeks. I think he's played a little bit better.
And I think PFF always gave Wiley, I'm not saying great grades, but at least middle of the road grades. Because PFF was, before the last couple weeks, was hard on Hal for taking a lot of the sacks.
Well, I think you see Hal needs some help from the offensive coordinator. And I think Coach Bieniemy has, our buddy Zach Kruger has, he sent us some stats about how he's throwing he's doubled his throws behind the line of scrimmage in the last couple weeks. Just getting rid of the ball quickly and using that kind of as a faux running game. And I think that's helped a lot. Terry McLaurin, 69.7. Chris Paul rated well. Jahan Dotson, there were a few De'Ami Brown sightings. Cakes.
I cited a ball go right through his hands at one point.
Yeah, but he did make a couple.
Thrown.
He did make a couple catches.
He did.
And then at the bottom, the fullback that they called up, Alex Armand, he didn't rate particularly well.
That's weird because I saw
didn't rate very well.
That's weird because
he had the fumble.
I saw something about the snaps that the fullback is on the field. All right, it's somewhat of a tell that you're going to run or play action, but the yards per carry when he's on the field is actually way up. So it's weird that he's not getting a great grade because it seems like they've had productive plays with him on the field, but maybe they have him missing a block, whatever. And I do remember Logan Paulson, who breaks down the film a few weeks ago when they were talking about the Sam Howell sack problem, said even if these plays aren't home runs, it gives more variety and essentially keeps the defense off balance, which means they won't be able to just tee off on your quarterback and your offensive line as much. So they're throwing in a different look with the fullback.
All right, so who do you think got the highest grade on defense?
I see it, and I'm shocked by it.
Forbes?
Yeah. Forbes.
Yeah.
91.3.
I think he only gave up
snaps.
2 completions.
One. No, 2. You're right, for 12 yards.
In coverage.
And 7 targets.
They gave him a 91, yeah. He was flying all over the place.
Good for him.
Back to your PFF grade, on the season, Howell's still 25th. I was surprised he's that low.
Yeah. Yeah, me too, to be honest with you, because in other metrics, he's not.
Now, it's really not 20. Like, they have Tyrod Taylor ahead of him. I mean, Taylor's played like 1 game. So maybe I need to take out.
Yeah, take it out. Do you want guys that have done 50% or more snaps? And then where does he rank?
Just
take that out.
I just like the Bieniemy's take. He is not treating him with kid gloves. He's just like, you're going to sling the ball, and you're going to sling it more than anybody else in the league.
Well, I think it also shows he has confidence in him.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And, the guy is going to throw it occasional. If he drops back 49 times, you could probably rest assured he's going to have at least 1 interception.
Right.
At the NFL level. Sorry.
Now,
Most quarterbacks.
But if you're going to throw for 300 plus and you're going to scoot for 25 or 30 on the ground, you can live with that.
Yeah. No, I mean, if you drop back 50 times, these guys are going to get 1.
Yep.
It's going to be very rare that you could go through a game, throw it 50 times, and not have an NFL defense, get 1 on you.
Through 9 games, Sam Howell has more passing yards than Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Jalen Hurts, Kirk Cousins, C.J. Stroud, Jared Goff.
Pretty damn impressive.
He only trails Tua.
He only has 200 yards.
My counter would be, though, has he outplayed any of them? I don't believe he has.
I mean, the numbers would...
Has he outplayed any of them?
What were the guys' names?
He's played right with Jalen Hurts.
He's kind of right there in that territory.
He's played right with Hurts.
He hasn't outplayed those guys.
Probably not, because
he's in that neighborhood. And for a guy...
Statistically, yeah.
Can you go to their passer ratings of each of those guys?
Sure. Tua's at 106. Sam's at 89.3. Mahomes, 96.
Is
Allen,
anybody
99.
below Sam Howell?
Let me see.
I don't think so.
Yeah, but you're killing him. He's got.
I'm not killing him.
What's killing him?
I'm just saying that you're using raw
What's killing him
stats.
is the sacks. I'm sure that's dropping.
And the interceptions.
Rate.
He's got more interceptions than some of those guys.
Yeah,
but
his bad games. He's had 2 horrible games.
Mahomes has 8 picks. Allen has 9 picks. Same number as Howell. Tua's got 7.
How many does
I know,
Jalen
but I'm going to
have?
posit that
Jalen's
all
got
of those
8.
guys have better pass ratings and better QBRs and better PFF grades.
That's fine.
Yes,
but
they do.
You know what else?
Well,
they
that's
have?
context.
They're veterans.
They do.
He's learning on the fly, and he's being asked. he has more on his plate than most of those guys, especially as a young player. So,
but there's no.
Am I putting him in that tier? No, but he's in that neighborhood, and he has very little experience.
I didn't think
and he's got a terrible line in front of him.
I'm impressed. JP apparently not.
I didn't think his numbers
No,
would
I'm
be
putting
this good.
context on it. I've been impressed with his play. I was impressed with him in college.
If he was a first or second round pick, people would be jocking him.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm jocking him. This is me jocking him.
And you never thought you would.
I'm
No, he
stunned
didn't.
that I'm in this position. He's stunning me with what he's doing.
I like it.
I actually inserted him into my fantasy lineup in one of my leagues. I never thought I would
Well,
say
he's
that.
giving you like 20 plus
I
points.
bet you when we have Dave Richard on. Now, where does Seattle rank defensively? I haven't really studied them yet. Where are they defensively?
They were like first heading into the game.
But then that exploded.
Pre-Baltimore.
So they're good defensively. All right, so
Yeah, they have the Legion of Spoon.
They had a good month of October.
Yeah.
they did.
Let's see. Against.
All right, so I'm wondering if Dave Richard, what people call up, is he going to start advocating for Howell after the last 2 weeks?
I would say especially this upcoming week, which is week 10, I believe, with Mahomes and Hurts on bye. A lot of people will be starting Sam Howell in their fantasy league.
I don't know. In yards allowed, they're
down.
They're bottom third. They're 30th, 28th, 26th,
Points
25th.
Points there. I don't know, maybe 20th.
So they're not dominating.
Let's see against the pass. Yards per game against the pass, Seattle. All right, best in leagues, Cleveland. Seattle is, they're way down there. Right behind San Francisco, probably, I'm guessing 19, 20.
Well, the numbers I saw against the Ravens, maybe it was just for the month.
Maybe it was for the
They
month.
were like 1-2 in points.
Points allowed?
In October.
Oh, I was going to say, because points allowed, they're way down.
October.
Yeah.
All right, so, Howell will be a reasonable play probably for some fantasy
I would
owners.
think so.
I mean, your guys are number one allowed in points. Baltimore is allowing less than 14 a game in points.
Crazy.